Hi, beautiful Virgo. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Virgo, this is your mid-month reading, September until October. And we're going to start with an undercurrent for your read. And we're going to get all the cards on the table, all the clarifiers are going to get out there, and then really get into the message. At the very end, we're going to ask the angels to come in and see if there's any additional message for you, any uplifting message, anything that they might have for you. Also, I want to say that I just started to do personal readings. So if you're interested in a personal reading, I do offer those now. Please check it out in the description box. There you go. Well, we have the Leo card here. And Virgo, you might be connected to Leo somehow, some way. You might actually be a Leo. You might be a Leo sun listening to Virgo moon or something like that. You might have a Virgo rising or something like that. You might have a Leo in your chart. You can also deal with a Leo person or Leo personality. If not, this is just very much about claiming your leadership, claiming your teachership. Can you say that? Claiming your spot as a... You know, ever since we now have influencers, I don't sort of actually like the word influencer anymore because it's now filled with so many different things than what I mean by influencer. So if I just sort of throw the influencer word there in and then stick to teacher and leader, you probably know what I mean. This is you sort of finding your passion, finding your fiery element, like what drives you, what motivates you, what moves you forward. And then we have those gazillion sunflowers there that stands for happiness and joy and just contentment, really. So this is so beautiful and like just gorgeous to have as an undercurrent for this month, mid-September and mid-October. There's a teacher leader thing coming in, a mentorship, I want to say, mentorship. And the lion there just represents the courage, the bravery to just step forward. It's so fiery. It's just so, it's gorgeous. So let's see why that is here. Let's get into the message. Why is this here for, for Virgo, please? Virgo. There you go. Interesting message here. Okay. So we have the magician. Virgo, we have the magician. The magician is all about you knowing that you're the creator. We also have Four of Ariel, which I was like a little bit with the mentorship and the leadership there. It is a feeling of knowing when to step up and knowing when to pull back. And I just feel like for Virgo right now, it's not the time to pull back. It's the time to, you probably have, it's coming across a little bit like you're playing it small, like you're just playing it small and you like have so much more to give. And usually when, if you're sort of, it's just like, it might not be the best analogy, but holding on to money, for example, if you have an influx of money, if you have an influx of money, so I know that I'm probably connecting with someone in particular. I've had, this is what's been happening, I have to say, when I started to do these personal readings. So now the connection has gone deeper with several people, and now showing up for the main party, for the main reading, there's now a deeper connection and more of a like direct story to those people that I've had personal readings with. Not to say that the people that haven't had those personal readings is not getting anything out of it. Of course you are, and don't ask me how that works. That, you know, a lot of you come back to say like that just felt like a personal reading to me, and I don't know how that works. Because it's just sort of like being an angel, you know, Archangel Michael. I know that Michael is like with so many people doing so many different things. And we thinking that Michael is just one person or one angel or one entity, it's just wrong. because that energy can be in multiple places at the same time. And the energy that I'm transmitting here is not just for one person, and because it's one person, it sort of lacks then for another. No, the message is for all, but it seems to deepen when I've had a personal reading. It's really interesting because now I'm starting to use words that I know is specific to a specific person. I never use the word influx, and I know where that word comes from. Anywho, let's say that there's a big influx of money in your life and you sort of are a little bit afraid of losing it. So it's not an effortless, like money flows in, money goes out, money flows in, money goes out. But when the money actually shows up, there's a little bit of a holding on to it. I'm not saying that this is going on. I'm using this as an analogy. I'm not being I don't receive that this is what you're doing. I'm receiving the analogy for it. So this might be for a completely different thing, that you're sort of, something shows up that you're really happy that it is showing up, and therefore you're treating it as if it is, it has it's a scarcity mindset. It's like, it can go away. I now have it, but it can go away, so I better hold on to this. That in itself starts to weigh on you, starts to dim your shine. Does that make any sense? Why that has to do with one another? Like, your energy is going to get so tired as you hold on to something that needs to be released. Money needs to come in and money needs to go out. And to trust that just because it goes out, that, now you're not going to see any more money again. Or like, just as we hear this about relationships like all the time. Very, very, very normal that you hang on to this relationship. I talked to this beautiful friend just the other day where she was like, I knew so early on that this relationship was not for me. And I was like, why do you think you stuck around? Like, why do you think you kept in there? And she was like, I think I already liked the idea of having someone. And so she was okay with having someone rather than no one, even though he turned out to be not nice. And this might then be even tougher if they actually are nice and you're in this relationship. This is very similar to the Leah reading, this very analogy. So there might be some correlations there with their Leah reading. So you might want to check that out if you want to. If you feel drawn to that, do that. So there's like this, then it's a little bit tough to let go of because you're familiar with it. It's it has become the norm. But in terms of, that is a good analogy. Okay. So years and years and years back, when I started to do what I actually didn't start to do cards. Cards is a recent thing for me. Where I did like one-on-ones, I had workshops, I had healing sessions, I had, all of these different type of things. And I started to charge a certain amount of money. And I wasn't really getting clients, or I wasn't really getting customers. I wasn't really getting, I was like, I'm sitting here and have all this knowledge and I really can help people. Why aren't people showing up? And when I looked at it and how much I put into it, how much investment, how much energy, how much thought, how much love I put into a session, what I then allowed back in for that session, for what I invested and for what I said that the person was showing up was going to pay, was so off. So what I put into the situation and what I got out from it was off balance. So I actually started to raise the sessions that I was doing, and I got more clients, not because I was necessarily more expensive or anything like that. I just had a number. It was just a number that fit the energy that I put in. And when the number fit the energy, there was a balance. And the slight burnout that I felt before that came from do you see what I'm going with this? There's like there's a leadership here. There's a teacher in you. There's a fiery passion burning that just sort of is waiting to come out there, whether that is through like mentorship, whether that is through a book, whether that is through just helping people or just stepping into a new career, whatever that is for you. It can even be that you're in a relationship and you're playing it smaller than you are. There's a lack of, not that you're getting money from your spouse, but it's like a lack of, like what you're putting in and what you're receiving back is off balance. And so that works for a while, but for Ariel is very much about like, look what you're investing in, like within, like from yourself, and look what you're gaining back, because that is off right now. Right now, you need to look at that a little bit. Like the inspiration here is to look at whatever, if that is a relationship going on for you, if that is the work going on for you, if that is even a friend situation. You know, you have sometimes those friends where it's just a one-way street. You give and you give and you give to those certain people, and you don't even call them back, or like you don't just ever get to talk about your things, because it's just so assumed that you're the giver. Sometimes that will sort of, if it's sort of work related, sometimes that can be that you're really putting a lot into to this one person, and you're gaining it back from someone else, if that makes sense. But if this is like a spouse, or this is like a really, really close friend, this is a coworker that like, this is the person that you work with every day, or something like that, and they just never give back. It's just never up to par with what you've invested. You're going to start to feel fatigue here. You're going to start to lose your shine. And then we have Nine of Gabriel, which is don't give up. You're on this path right now where you need to hear that you shouldn't give up. There's something going on, and you need that's a tricky one, because you need to feel, what is it, because no one likes, I'm sort of hearing someone say, what is it that I shouldn't give up? Should I not give up the relationship? Should I just sort of continue to fight for the relationship? Or like, should I not give up the thought of removing myself from the relationship? Like, which is it? You know which it is. You know it in your, like, your intuition is telling you which is making you fatigue. If you are in this job, or if you are like in this situation where you just feel like every time you walk away from it, you just feel energized and uplifted and inspired, that's a friend to keep. That's a spouse to keep. That is a job to keep. But if you, every time you leave that conversation with someone, you feel drained and you feel more fatigued than when you came into it, that might need some overlooking, you know? We're starting with the Magician. So what's going on here at the same time is that you are now finding, so whatever situation this is for you, this is interesting. So whatever situation this is for you, so we're practicing not giving up. You're practicing your patience, and you're practicing not giving up, and you're practicing looking at where you invest and what you like. What do you bring to the party? What do you bring to your people? What do you bring to the table in your relationships, in your friendships, in your business ventures, like whatever that is? It might look like that is what it has to do with. What it has to do with is you realizing that you are the Magician, and that you realize that you are a teacher / leader of some sort. You know, if you have a very specific look at what a teacher or leader is, a teacher can be someone writing books. You know, if you write a book and there's a lot of teachings in there, you're a teacher, right? A teacher doesn't mean that you're like, you don't have to be a school teacher, or you know, you can be a nurse and be a teacher. You can be a CEO and be a teacher. You can have any profession really. So it's like, don't get hung up on the teacher. You can be a spiritual teacher. This though is very much like the Magician, and this leadership, this finding this teacher leader inside of you is very much about having certain situation taking place right now in your life, like these, What are your where are your investments too low in relationship to what you're gaining back? And what is it that you just need a little bit more patience in, that you need to not give up on? Those things are going to play out in you realizing more and more and more that you are the magician and that you are a teacher / leader in this world. That's what these things are helping you to uncover right now. Can we have some clarification here on all of it? The Magician for Ariel, 9 of Gabriel. Clarification here for Virgo, please. Virgo, this feels like a slightly different reading here today. I usually, I don't know, there's a little bit of a different vibe here today. I don't know if you feel that. It's just, I don't know. One card. Triumph. Awesome. Okay. And I'm going to read from the book. 7. Triumph. The power of your soul is pushing and nudging you steadily forward. Whether you're setting new goals, developing ideas, or playing a journey, it's essential that it's carefully thought out. When you tap into your inner guidance and balance it well, with self-control, hard work, and perseverance. Self-control, hard work, and perseverance. It's likely to manifest a triumphant outcome. It's time for you to be single-minded and focused on the end goal. Visualize the successful results as it were happening right now. When you've achieved what you set out to do, your ability to meet other life challenges will be significantly increased. When you try to move forward without balance, direction, or guidance, it's easy to slip off your intended path and be drawn away from your desired goal. Now is not the time to let go or allow the river of life to pull you in its current, as you can so easily lose control. Grab your oars, grip them tightly, and steer carefully toward the highest aim or destination. The Triumph card reminds you that you don't have to be alone with all of life's ups and downs and the challenges that face you. This is a time to tap into the powerful knowledge of others, as well as to use the inner resources that are within you. And the traditional, the Triumph is represented usually by the chariots. There is movement forward here, and there is success at the end of the day. And it's telling you to, like I said, at the end of the day, the magician, what is the ultimate goal here? Do you know what the ultimate goal is? Because if I were to say the ultimate goal here, I would say is for you to find out your full potential. Your full potential, or your true value, or your true worth. And understanding, like the deep and profound understanding that you are the creator of your world is what's going on. And for you to realize that, literally realize, like you realize it, not that you, I realize that, but you realize it. You materialize it, I guess. You materialize that, you realize that. Those little things are going to keep popping up for you to choose the path where you discover more of your magicianship and your leadership, your teachership. It's going to be through different venues you're going to continue to attract different venues where you get to practice, I guess you could say, coming more into your fuller shine, your fuller light, your fuller mentorship to others. Because holding back is like holding on to money that just has come in because you're afraid if you sort of buy something with them or you invest with them, you're not going to get more money. That is just not true. Does this make any sense? What does the angels have to say about this? Or any additional messages for Virgo, please? You're figuring out, you're on the path to figure out that you're a magician, that you create your own world. You're on the path to figure out that you are a teacher and a leader, and that it doesn't sort of matter what profession you're in. It's just sort of a self-discovery here. You're on the path to discover how much you're putting in of your own investment, like your own invested time, money, energy, love, whatever that is, and how much you're receiving back. And the discovery right now is that you're overgiving, or you're playing it too small. You're larger than you're letting on. Does that make sense? And that starts to chip away at your energy. What does the angels have to add here? Virgo, there you go. Celeste and Akasha, I love her. Like the Akashic records, going back to the blueprint. Okay, we're going to start with Celeste. She's out there, almost don't see her, but she's out there dancing in the night gardens. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. A happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. So if you're on your way to, this is just the additional message here from the angels. If you're on your way thinking about moving somewhere, moving homes, changing homes, not really knowing if you're making the right choice here, the angels are coming in to say that this is going to have a happy outcome. It's going to be that's a good move for you. Also, if there's an expansion going on, at your job, if there's a thinking about relocating something around your business, and you're like second guessing yourself a little bit, just know that there's going to be a happy outcome around that job situation. Positive new energy. And then we have Akasha. I love her. You are a spiritual teacher. What? I have not said that throughout this whole reading. Look at her. I just love the mysteriousness, the universal forces here. Akasha. You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life's mission. How beautiful is that? You are a spiritual teacher. You have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine life mission. And that has just come out over and over again. What you're doing right now is realizing that you are a teacher or a leader. This is mentorship. And then the Akashic records comes out to say you are a spiritual teacher and that you have the ability to awaken in others. You just automatically do that, becoming your beautiful self. Like you're going to be stronger by the minute as you just realize more and more and more your true potential, your magicianship. That's what I have for you here today, Virgo. I hope it's uplifting and inspirational. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Even consider to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe to the channel. So please do that because it really helps me a lot. If you want to, if you feel drawn to that, obviously. Also, again, if you're interested in a personal reading, go to read about it in the description box. Other than that, just so much thank you for showing up here and watching these videos with me. Thank you, guys.